Hello, it's William from wiwibloggs. Die Entscheidungsshow is dead. What the f***? Oh my god. Are you kidding me? Should we talk about it? Let's do this! Yes, Switzerland's much loved, much talked about, and occasionally much maligned national selection is over. Today, SRF revealed that they're scrapping the national selection for Eurovision 2019, and instead they will choose behind closed doors. A lot of you guys are really freaking out about this. On Instagram, DEK_KS writes, "I'm from Switzerland, and what the is this a joke?" And Serbia_ball_ says, "Not televised, boring." On Twitter, at Eurovision Gamer says, "Ratings are catastrophic, so 2019 will probably be their last chance." Marcus Leather 1 says, "Well, if it isn't working, change it. I get the feeling Switzerland is getting ready to withdraw, and this is a last attempt." So the national selection is gone. Why are you doing this? Oh my god. The question is why, and there are probably two key reasons. The first, which has been widely reported, is that SRF is in a bit of an austerity mode, is having to tighten its belt. SRF is, of course, a public broadcaster. Eurovision in Switzerland is aired by the public broadcasters, and they gotta tighten their belts. They have to justify the existence of their programs, and if the ratings aren't there, maybe the show shouldn't be there either. They're just responding to the environment. Now, rather than spending all their euros on a national selection and staging 6 acts, 5 of which won't go beyond the show anyways, they can use that money to invest in staging at Eurovision, on promotion. So if you take kind of a long-term view, it may hurt not to have the show to watch and the hype that builds, but at least they could end up with a stronger act. There's that great possibility to have a better stage show when you got more coins. We've got to keep it real. Switzerland has struggled in recent years. They've only made the final 3 times, I believe, since 2006. They haven't qualified for the past 4 years, so the Die Entscheidungsshow formula just isn't working. So experiment, mix it up, tweak. On our website, Tenga writes, "Switzerland, like the rest of Western Europe, does not take Eurovision seriously. They can easily win it anytime they want. They are clearly uninterested." Okay, so I don't really agree with that. Switzerland does care. Like, the team behind the Eurovision acts, we've worked with them quite extensively. They are all about doing well. Reto, hey! If you recall, last year they actually staged a Melody Festival in boot camp with Christer Bjorkman and producers from SVT to try and learn some tactics to improve their selection. And this year's national selection was stronger than selections in the past. A lot of acts had a lot of support. The staging looked great. But maybe now, because of austerity or whatever, they're just realizing a closed-door approach might be more effective. They're not uninterested. Zibs had a lot of fans this year. Certainly when the song first came out, I was really positive about it.
Oh, this brother sister.
I could hear this at an NBA basketball game. Honey, warm up the crowd with Zibs. Stones.
They're playing it safe.
Sticks and stones may break your bones. They're not gonna hurt her.
I don't want it in my backyard.
I love that part when Coco was like, "I want anybody who's ever been hurt to put your hands up," and everybody was putting their hands up. A lot of you on our social media and website do think that experimentation is good. Roy Moreno writes on wiwibloggs.com, "I want to see Switzerland going high on the scoreboard already. They should at least try it." And you know what? It is all about mixing it up. Look at Cyprus, another small country that has had its ups and downs at Eurovision. 2015, it launches the Eurovision Song Project. John Karagiannis takes them to the final. 2016, they use an act. It was an internally selected act, but they use -1 who were in the Eurovision Song Project previously. 2017, they also draw from Eurovision Song Project. But then they were like, okay, we've made the final 3 years in a row, let's take it up a level. And they went internal and selected Yeleni Ferreira, who then comes second. So, what's actually gonna happen? Artists can submit songs between September 1st and October 1st, and the rules encourage songs that touch on timely issues or that are very emotional. And if you just look at the 2018 contest, Netta, she wins, talking about Me Too, the Me Too movement. That backdrop can often provide the extra push that songs need. When Conchita won, this was post-LGBT draconian laws being introduced in Russia. Jamala with Crimea, that was a huge issue at the time in the international media. So dovetailing with what's going on in the world definitely helps. The second thing they mentioned, though, is the emotional reaction, songs with an emotional reaction. Michael Schulte in Germany, the death of his father, that was very personal, and that personal connection came through. So, after they have their songs, Switzerland will let a 100-person audience panel listen to them. That's going to be in conjunction with a 20-member professional jury of people who have sat on the Eurovision jury in the past. Now this seems to be borrowing from Germany's revamped selection, because Germany has this whole, it's very German, formula where they try to get an audience panel that mirrors the taste of Europeans broadly, because they had done research and found that the way Germany votes is frequently the way that the overall Eurovision results end up. And it seems that Switzerland is going to apply that logic here as well. That strategy certainly worked for Germany. Look at their results. 2015, Anne-Sophie last, 27th place. 2016, Jamie Lee last, 26th place. 2017, Lavina, 25th place. But then Michael Schulte coming fourth? You know, it seems to be working. Germany's going to use that formula again. Perhaps this is some shared Germanic knowledge. There is a final point in all this. Switzerland stresses in today's announcement that they will be responsible, the broadcaster will be responsible for the final say in staging. Now, some of our readers have had a really strong reaction to that. On the website, Silly Liam writes, "What? SRF has the final decision for the staging? Yeah, because Rika's was so good." Now look, her bra was smoking, she had blue-gray hair, working that elderly rinse. She gave a perspective. We don't know, and what people at home don't always know, is that there's a lot of arguments that go on between broadcasters and between artists. And judging from SRF's explicit statement that they will have the final say, it seems that in the past, perhaps the artists have, or the labels of the artists, have wanted to have too much say. So maybe kind of mishaps or cock-ups with staging haven't been down to SRF, but down to kind of very opinionated artists. It's funny, I was speaking to a stage director slash Eurovision kind of producer, and he told me that it's really easy to work with actors, like people who used to be actors and then go to Eurovision. They're used to taking direction, and so they'll kind of listen to you and take your advice. Whereas if you get like an established pop star who's used to doing it their own way, they often are more difficult. And it certainly seems that Switzerland, from that comment, have had to deal with the latter. I ain't gonna name names, I don't know no drama, I don't know who was pushy. But over the past 2 years, you know, Apollo, Follow Me Apollo, the staging was quite empty. Beautiful woman in a yellow dress with a piano, but it just seemed a bit empty. Like, who to blame? Who knows? On the whole, I think we should actually be really optimistic, because this mix-up shows that Switzerland's not complacent. They could have just gone with the formula they did last year and the year before, but instead they're like, no, we're going to switch things out, see how this works. Experimentation is good, it shows effort, there's effort here, and so I'm optimistic, and some of you seem to be too. On Twitter, Stephen All says, "I hope this means Switzerland can finally qualify again." We are with you. We hope they can too. In any case, that is the news from Switzerland. What do you make of all of it? Why do you think Switzerland has switched to this method? Do you think it has potential? And do you know anyone submitting songs? Who do you want to submit a song? Let us know here on wiwibloggs, and we will see you later. Bye!